Hi there, this is Ranjit and let's do the best smartphones available in India under rupees 15,000. This is a very price competitive market in India and I'm going to look at smartphones from around you could say 8,000 to about 15,000 because those are the most popular in India and we have a lot of options right now. And what I'll be looking at smartphones is that for Android and all these phones are Android in this price segment, and minimum amount of RAM I feel for Android phone to function very well, it's at least 3 gigabytes of RAM. So I'll be looking at smartphones with a minimum of 3 gigabytes of RAM. They should have decent processor, decent battery life, and also the camera should be good, and they should have some decent specs. So these are my criteria, and all the smartphones that I'm mentioning, I have actually personally used them, guys. And yes, I might not have used one or two out of this lot, so I will be omitting them. But again, I have used almost all popular smartphones. So let's get on with this. And I was looking at smartphones under rupees 8,000 first, around the 8,000 price point. I didn't find any coming to this criteria. There was one but I haven't used it, so I can't comment. There was this recently that was launched that was known as, what was that, Realme C2, that's coming with 3 gigabytes of RAM, Helio P22 SoC, but I haven't tested it, so I can't comment. So let's move to the slightly higher price band, that is 8,500. Now for 8,500 rupees, we have the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1 that was launched last year, that had the Snapdragon 636 SoC, comes with 5,000 milliampere battery, metallic back, and I feel at 8,500 rupees, still it's a good value for this phone. It comes with stock Android, but again, like any phone, there are cons with the phone. The biggest con with that phone is the weak front facing camera, and also I feel still the fingerprint scanner is slightly on the slower side, but yeah, overall it's at that price point, it's still a decent phone. Next again is the Asus phone that we have, and this one also the price has dropped to 8,500 rupees now. It is the Zenfone Max M2. This comes with the Snapdragon 632 SoC, and the biggest advantage I would say this has over the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1, which I mentioned earlier, is the cameras. The cameras are hugely improved on this one, but yeah, the processor is slightly lower at Snapdragon 632, so you can also have a look at this. Now if we increase our budget to about 9,000 rupees, I would say the standout phone here, I would say among the competition, was this Realme 3. It comes with the Helios P70 SoC, which is actually very powerful. It's almost as close to the Snapdragon 660 SoC. So this is the phone that you get. You have that almost full view display. Though it's a 720p HD display, it's the display quality is good. And I would say what I really liked about this phone is that yes, it's running ColorOS, but I didn't notice any lagginess or anything with this one. This also comes with 3 gigabytes of RAM at 9,000 rupees. And I like the fact that the cameras are actually good on this, both the rear facing as well as the front facing camera. And if you look at the overall picture with the performance that you're getting with the Helio P70 SoC, I feel at 9,000 rupees, this is the best bet as of now. Again, guys, I have already posted full in-depth reviews for most of these phones. So again, if you want to know the detailed pros and cons, you can check out that video. The biggest con that I have with this Realme 3 phone, and this is common for almost all Realme phone, is that the back is actually that polycarbonate plastic back that you are getting. Now let's up our budget a little bit to about 10,000 rupees, and here we have a lot of options now. Luckily, some very good options. And first would be this what is the Xiaomi's Redmi phone. And again, guys, before I talk about this, again, there's all these Xiaomi Redmi phones come with MIUI, and MIUI is having ads as of now. Yes, you can disable some of the ads, but again, you have to be a little bit tech savvy for that. And if you are going to use Xiaomi built-in apps, you will see some ads. So again, yes, I won't talk about it more, but yeah, MIUI will have ads if you're not careful. So at 10,000 rupees, we have this Redmi Note 7. What I like about this phone is, again, it has a full HD screen. The screen quality is good. It's IPS grade screen. Also, the build quality is nice and very stylish because of this glass back, but again, that can be a con. So I would suggest if you're buying this phone, use it with a case. And what I liked is Snapdragon 660 SoC is very powerful chipset, so general performance is really good. I didn't notice any lagginess or anything on this phone. Apart from that, again, don't use those Xiaomi specific apps, you will see ads. And overall performance of this phone was very good in day-to-day activities. But the con that I've noticed with this phone was that the rear facing camera, I would say Xiaomi has gimped it a little bit. I think so they just wanted to sell the higher variant Redmi Note 7 Pro. So the rear facing camera is pretty average on this, and also the availability of this 3GB RAM is a question, because many times I was looking at the Flipkart page and it was always saying out of stock. So again, it's sort of that flash sale situation. And also I do not like the fact that, yes, with the 3GB RAM variant you get 32GB of storage, but we don't have a dedicated micro SD card slot, so you have to be aware of that one. So anyways, at 10,000 this one is good. And the second phone that I have at rupees 10,000 is the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2, which was launched a couple of months ago, and this is also a very good phone. Stock Android, you are getting that stock Android experience you're getting, so it's generally very responsive. And this also comes with the Snapdragon 660 SoC, so the performance is actually really good. And this also comes with that 5000 milliamp hour battery, so the battery life is good. And definitely compared to the Zenfone Max Pro M1, the cameras are actually hugely improved on this one. So again, at 10,000 rupees, if you are really particular about stock Android and stuff, then you can have a look at this. The biggest con I have with this Zenfone lineup is, in terms of updates, they are actually pretty slow. But nevertheless, at 10,000 rupees now, I feel the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is also a very, very good buy. Now, if we look at one more phone, and this is sort of a runner-up, I would say. Again, you want stock Android experience and you are sort of a Nokia fan, because the build quality on this phone is actually really good. Again, that would be the Nokia 5.1 Plus. Now, the price has fallen to about 10,000 or 10,400 or so. It moves around. So again, you get the pure Android experience, and again, that Nokia build quality is really good. It comes with the Helio P60 SoC, which is not as powerful as the P70 that we are getting on this, even the Realme 3. But again, if you wanted that Nokia phone, that build quality, stock Android experience, you can have a look. But the con is that it comes with just, at even that 10,400, 500 rupees, comes with just a 720p HD screen, not a full HD screen. And also the battery life is actually pretty average on this. I would say the weakest among all the phones that I have mentioned, because it just has a 3060 milliamp hour battery, and when I tested, the battery life was pretty average. But again, this is a runner-up that I have. Now, let's say if your budget is about 11,000 and you are a Samsung fan, you really want a Samsung phone for the branding or the service, after service or whatever, then you can have a look at the Samsung Galaxy M20. But I would not suggest this phone for gamers, because the chipset that is used on that one actually heats up a lot with gaming. But if you don't do gaming, it's still a good phone. What I like about the Galaxy M20 was that it had a good 6.3-inch full HD screen. Again, Samsung puts good quality screens. Also, it has that 5000 milliamp hour battery, so the battery life is not an issue. And we do get actually a fast charger bundled in the box. It's USB Type-C. And also I like the fact that we also have the wide angle lens, which is not to be found on any other phones in this price range. But again, not for gamers. If you are not going to do any gaming and you want that Samsung branded phone, so at 11,000 you can have a look at the Samsung Galaxy M20. And now moving to a slightly higher price at about 12 or 13,000, you can go with the other phones that I mentioned around the 10 and 11,000 price range. You get the 4GB variants with 64GB of storage in the price band of about 12 to 13,000. Now let's move to if your price band is about 14,000. This is the most interesting phones that I would say we have right now, and that would be, again, the first pick would be this Redmi Note 7 Pro. It comes with the Snapdragon 675 SoC, which is very, very powerful SoC. It's a great overall performance of the phone. No lag or anything you'll notice. The base variant comes with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. And I would say the general performance of the phone is really good. Also, I did some heavy gaming. In fact, I'll try to post a gaming review if you guys want about that. Gaming performance was also good. And the biggest thing that stands out on this Redmi Note 7 Pro is the rear facing camera. The rear facing camera, I would say, is really good on this. The 48 megapixel camera with the last update that I got just about 9 days ago really has improved the camera performance of this one. And I can easily say that now the camera of this Redmi Note 7 Pro will easily beat even the Poco F1, which was my best pick last year for a camera centric phone if you were on a tight budget. So the rear facing camera performance has been improved drastically drastically on this. And also, again, it has that glass back, so looks actually pretty premium. But again, the cons are that no fast charger is bundled in the box, and also that flash sale situation with this device. Now moving to another option that we have at 14,000 is this new Realme 3 Pro. This is also at 14,000, and this comes with the Snapdragon 710 SoC, which is also again a very fast processor, very efficient processor. The battery life is actually really good on this. Even the battery life on the Redmi Note 7 Pro was actually really good. Even on this, it's really good. And I like the fact that it is having what do you say, VOOC charger given in the box. It said this is that VOOC charger. This is almost the same charger that we get with OnePlus devices, so it charges really fast. And also the camera performance is actually good on this device. Not only the rear facing camera, but the front facing camera performance is also actually really good on this one. But again, the cons with this one are that again, with all Realme phones, that plastic back, you are getting no notification LED light. And as of now, I would say with the rear facing camera, it employs that chroma boost. So sometimes with human subjects, it oversaturates the color. I hope with the next OT update, they fix that. Else, I would say it's a very good overall phone, and you can't go wrong even with this Realme 3 Pro. And now, if you are basically again a Samsung fan, and I know some people really want an AMOLED screen, so at 15,000 the Samsung Galaxy M30 is available. The specs are almost the same as the Galaxy M20. So again, what I said for the M20 applies to this. If you are a gamer, just forget about this device, because it heats up a lot because of the chipset that is used. But apart from that, it has a great AMOLED screen, also that 5000 milliamp hour battery with a fast charger that is supplied. And actually the rear facing camera has been improved slightly over the M20. So again, decent cameras, I would say. But again, I don't think so the cameras of this M30 will beat the cameras found on the Realme 3 Pro and the what do you say, Redmi Note 7 Pro. But still, if you want a Samsung phone with that Samsung branding with an AMOLED screen, you can have a look at the M30. Now for some selfie centric phones that we have in this, at about 10,000 we have the Realme U1. If you are a selfie centric person, go for this phone. The selfie camera is actually really good. It has the P70 chipset. In fact, the configuration is almost identical to the Realme 3, but I feel in the rear facing camera department, the Realme 3 has a better camera and it's cheaper. This one, Realme 3 is at 9,000. The Realme U1 is at 10,000 rupees. But if you are selfie centric, you can have a look. And there is also another phone from Xiaomi. Again, this is again for selfie centric person, that is the Redmi Y3. I don't like it because in terms of specs, this is at 10,000 rupees. I don't like the specs because it's having with the, coming with a slower Snapdragon 632 SoC. But again, if you are just looking for a selfie centric camera, then yes, the selfie camera on the Y3 is actually really good. So this was my list of phones that I would recommend around the below 15,000 price point. And you might have noticed that I have intentionally omitted some phones. For example, the Honor Play, that was a great phone earlier. Now the price has fallen to 14,000, but I would not recommend this the phone as of now, because many of the users actually have written to me that after the latest Android Pie update on that phone, it came with Oreo, it was good, but with the Android Pie update, the performance of the phone has degraded quite a bit. It's heating a lot, battery life has been an issue, and a lot of bugs. So and again, the Honor Play, simply the camera was always weak on that, so the camera is also not that great. So that's the reason I'm not recommending the Honor Play. So anyways guys, that's it for now for this buying guide below 15,000 smartphones in India. Again, I don't expect a lot of new mid-range smartphones to come out in the next 1 month or two, but again, if the situation changes, I'll again make a guide later on after a couple of months. Anyways guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and if you guys are still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and again, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thanks for now. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you later guys. Take care.